Welcome back to another episode of Cric Chat, powered by Umar Sheikh. Today we have Randeep Sahra from Kings Cricket Club. We're going to have a conversation with him. Randy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here, Samir.
Yeah, so a lot has changed. One team in WCL,
Correct.
a couple of teams in CDCL.
Correct.
Let's talk about that.
It is a change. Like you said, I started with Kings about 12, 13 years ago when we were Kings 3. It was the second season of Kings 3. The first season, I was still kind of, I don't know what it was. I was young. I would have been 12 years, 16, 17, right? And then I started with Kings 3, and then they just became friends. We all just became friends. Over the years, it's transitioned into Kings 2. We've had a phase where the club wanted to mesh everybody up and kind of have, certain players from Kings 3 playing from Kings 1, Kings 2 playing for Kings 3, kind of mesh it all up together. We tried it, but the comfort level of Kings 3 was just Kings 3, right? So we kind of just stuck with it. And over the years, we've kind of made, so 3 people usually run everything in Kings 3. That's myself, Prabh, and Navpreet. And we stick together, and that's the basics of Kings 3, right? And then we had Jaspreet a few years ago, and he's been part of the team ever since. All the players that have been playing for us, Stinderpal, Gurpreet Gill, they've been with Kings 3 from the start, and they haven't gone anywhere else. It's very rare to see somebody wear another jersey once they wore the Kings jersey. That's how I always put it. And then transitioning to Kings 1, I found out about it just before April this year, that we're going to be Kings 1 this year. The club did say that if we wanted to take our team anywhere else, WCL, for example, we're open to play there. Or if we want to stay here, we're open to play here. I was happy playing Premier and then Elite for T20.
Right.
But it is an honor to be part of 40 over Elite, obviously, because you play with the best players, obviously. Transitioning to Kings 1, we're still learning. We'll always learn, right? So far, we're doing really well. It's because we've played against the players. For your team, for example, we've played with you guys for a while. We've played with Zalmi before. We've played with Knight Rider before. So it's the same players, just a different level. But biggest transition is mental transition for a lot of our players, especially myself. I feel like I've grown a lot more in the last couple of years as a cricketer, not giving up, because that used to be a big thing that I personally had, I think, where you feel like a few wickets are down, everybody kind of shoulders down and we're done, right? Being at this level, it doesn't exist anymore. It's not over until it's over, right? That has been the biggest transition from Kings 3 to Kings 2 to Kings 1. I still think we're still Kings 3. Whenever Kings 1 wants to come back and take their spot, it'll be theirs, right? As long as we're playing together as a team where we are. And we've grown a lot as a club as well. We've added a lot of people, but a lot of our club players, they're old players. They've been with the club for a really long time. Now we have Kings 2, which was supposed to be Kings 3, but the same players, Randeep Gill, he's running the show there. A lot of the players he's put in, they are either ex-Kings 1's player or ex-Kings 2 players. Same players just went down. So it's just, now it's more of a club cricket thing at this level rather than individual. Like I said, our individual team had been together for a long time, but now we're starting to branch out to what club needs and how the club does it, because I think we've established a fairly good team with Kings 1 with Robin and Sukha Baji guys. And I think we're establishing what they had. Obviously, we were not as good as them, but, hopefully we will be there. And that's what we're trying to do with our third team here, is trying to establish that team so we could have 3 good teams under the same club. Like I said, we're almost there. We have about 8 or 9 players that are consistently Kings players, and they won't go anywhere. And then bad days, good days happen, but they'll stick around, right? And that's a culture I think Kings have built, as far as I've seen, is just playing around the same people no matter what happens, right? And that's what we're trying to. This is the Kings 2 now. This is their first year as a group together, and they're doing fairly well. They practice more than we do. We had a practice game yesterday, and all 11 of their players, playing 11, showed up, right? And that's good to see. So like I said, we're trying to create a core of 9 players, and you just kind of substitute 2-3, 2-3, 2-3 every game. And when you have 11 players available for 90% of the season, then you don't really need a squad of 20. You just need a squad of 13 or 14, and that's what we're trying to build in every single team. So we could just kind of stick to that.
What led to Kings 1 move to WCL?
I have no idea.
Everyone wants to know.
I have no clue. I'd like to know as well.
Strategic move.
No, I think I just want to spread out a little bit, right? Not have all your eggs in one basket is what I think, right? Like I said, club gives us an option as well to move to WCL whenever we wants to. Like any decision that happens in our Kings and the team I play for, it's not my decision or Prabh's decision. Collectively, we ask the group what the group wants. Okay. And if we don't have 11 players or 12 players or whatever our squad is agreeing to that thing, we don't do it, right? And same thing happened. WCL came up. The conversation came up. It came up last year. It came up this year. The other league, whatever it was, it came up the year before, right? But Prabh and I usually ask our players what they want to do. And whatever the players want to do, we go with it, right? Either we like it or we don't like it. There's a situation. I wanted to play CDCL. I played here my entire life. I'm 28 now. I probably have another 12 years. I'm halfway through my cricketing career, is what I like to think at least. I've spent so much time. I've built so many connections, right? I personally don't see myself moving anywhere just because we started in Div 4 and then Div 3, Div 2, Div 1, Premier, now Elite, right? To me personally, it's a little bit more of I think it's a little bit more of a sentimental thing, right?
I hear you.
Because we've come up the ladder, right?
Also the memories
absolutely
on these fields, right?
Right, absolutely. Right. And the biggest thing why I would like to play CDCL over WCL is the 40 over format or the longer format. I can't go out there and start hitting. T20 is very much like that. I need time, right? And I like to play the game, watch the game, and then take it deep. That's how I like to play the game, and that's how Prabh likes to play the game. And since both of us are captains, it's hard to transition that into just a T20 mode, right? There are more games, yes, I understand that. But I like the format we're in, and I know the players we're playing against, right? WCL, they're very competitive, very, very competitive now, especially now. They've got good players gone. A lot of the players have moved there. I still keep in touch with a lot of the players in WCL. But myself personally, unless my team just wants to get up and leave, I don't see myself moving.
So it's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing, absolutely, right? Yeah. And like I said, if I go, I know I'll take 13 players with me, right? And if they don't want to go, we don't want to go. It has to be a collective thing. It won't be individuals. And I could, I'm proud to say it. Out of my 13, 14 squad, I don't think there's an individual players that would just walk up and go. They would stick with the team because like I said, we've been playing together for 12 years, 13 years. Nobody wants to just go play for another team. We've had a bad season. We've had a couple bad seasons where we won 2 games a season, man. And we all stuck together then, right? Nothing changed. I was still the captain. Prabh was still the captain. We had the same batting order, same players, but we didn't go, right? So if we could survive that, we could survive where we're at now.
No, that's amazing. So congratulations on
thank
having that chemistry as a club.
Yeah.
Talk about your friendship with Prabh or the group.
We're both lefties. Prabh is kind of who I talk to the most because we're both lefties. We both have the same mentality. It's weird as it sounds. He's a little bit on the calmer side. I'm a little bit on the aggressive side. There's a little bit of a difference there, but we analyze the game together, and we both want to win, right? We both get fed up over the same things. We both get happy with the same things, and the biggest thing is I think Prabh is a little more. I wouldn't say I'm not attached to cricket, but Prabh is a little more attached to cricket than I am. I really am as well. Like I said, we have not missed a game in the last 3 years. This is Prabh sitting out this week because he had an injury. He couldn't play, couldn't move. So he sat out. The friendship I have, we're family, right? He knows my family. I know his family. And that's just not Prabh. It goes with everybody in the team, right? My wife usually comes to all the games. And then before I was married, my sisters and my parents, they all came to the game, right? So my family's been around. My grandpa used to be a big fan of our club, right? So, and same thing with Prabh's family. Prabh's parents usually come, right? You get players, their wives usually come to play the game. And that's just kind of the culture we have, right? We're not just friends on the field, we're friends off the field as well. And even when off season hits, we still hang out. Navi is another one. He kind of keeps everybody together. He keeps everybody in the loop. But all our players, we all keep in the loop. We've all known each other for a really long time, right? And there's no filter, right? I think Navi is probably 8 years older than I am, 7 years older than I am. But when we have a conversation, there's none of that formality, right? It's just the comfort level we've had. And that goes for the entire team. I probably am one of the youngest ones, and not once do I ever feel like I need to be hesitant about saying something, especially being a captain. You kind of, when you go play for another team, you have to be hesitant on what you can say, what you cannot say, right? With our crew, we don't have nothing like that.
Yeah. Speaking of some of this, I remember this is a few years back. I don't remember if it was the last year or the year before. West Wind Cricket Ground.
Right.
You and Prabh batting.
Yeah.
He missed a easy single.
Yeah.
And you going screaming. What happened? Do you remember that?
It happens quite a bit. I think it's just to motivate one another, really. If you remember that, you might see in other cases where him and I are batting and I get out, you'd see him screaming, right? And it's not on, we both want to win. And I feel like when him and I are batting together, 500 is achievable, right? And I don't want to sound proud or cocky, but we have achieved it where him and I have been batting, and it's easy. Runs come very easy. Especially with Prabh, we've been batting together for a long time, right? So when we're rotating the strike, we just look at each other and we know to go. There's no yes or no. We just look at it and it's coming, right? And then like I said, he's very much on the calmer side. I'm a little bit more on the aggressive side. So when I don't get boundaries, I get a little anxious, right? And he's usually the one to take it easy, take a single. So things like that. And when we're rotating strike, I personally feel like rotating strike is better than hitting boundaries sometimes, or most of the times. Last year, I had 1-6 the entire season. All of my runs were just single and doubles, right? And I think I thrive on that for cricket. It's easier for me to rotate the strike, and when I don't get that, then I feel like I need to hit a boundary. And when you're going for a boundary in a longer format game, you're risking your wicket, right? So that's the instant I had with Prabh, where maybe I think it's been multiple times where we've gone back and forth with each other
I've seen a handful of times.
And then I've gotten out this 2 games ago against CCA. I think I hit one in the air, and then before it wasn't caught, you dropped the catch. Before he even got to the fielder, I saw Prabh just swearing, right? So I'm like, because we both want to win, right? When we're both there, we're going to take it to the end. And if one of us gets out, you have to it's not as easy. Let's just put it that way, right? I'm not saying my other players can't do it. It's just easier when him and I are batting together.
Of course, you need partnerships, right?
We're both lefties, right? We're both lefties. It's easier. I'm stronger on the leg side. He's stronger on the off side. So it's easier to manipulate the field that way, especially in 40 or 50 overs. It used to be before, right? So you have me playing on the leg side and your fielders move in, and him playing on the off side. It's easier with a lefty that plays 360 around the field, right? So it's just easier batting with him. That's all.
100%. No, that's good.
And now we have Nav, which is super easy to bat with. He comes in, he does his thing, he puts 50 up in 4 overs, and everything else is smooth sailing after, right? And it's been a big part of our success this year so far. Knock on wood. Hopefully you'll keep going. He's had a couple seasons where he was so off, right? But it's his practice. He practices so much, and you can't give up on a player that practices so much, right? And this year you see it. We had a pre-tournament, preseason tournament in Kelowna. Same thing. He went all out, right? And that's just his game. We don't say anything to him. We just let him do his thing. And it's when you have 4 over 50 runs, everything is easier after that, right?
When you have a player like this, you have to give them the license. Right?
Absolutely.
You can't just hold them back.
No, absolutely. And
let them do it.
And that's the captaining style Prabh and I have. Prabh is a little bit on the other end. Prabh's theory is, if you hit a 6, take a single the next ball. You have 7 runs and 2 balls. My theory is if you could hit a 6 on the first ball, why can't you do it on the second ball, right? So that's where we kind of differentiate between hot and cold. Like I said, I do T20. Unless there's 3 or 4 wickets in 2 or 3 overs, then I tell players to slow down. But my theory is just go all out. If you could hit 6 sixes, go for it, right? And I don't try to stop any other players. Out of the 11, playing 11, usually Prabh and I, we always play. I take it upon myself and I let Prabh take it upon himself to carry the bat through, right? We don't go out, start hitting. We let everybody else around us start hitting, right? I know that Prabh needs to take it easy. I need to take it easy. And everybody kind of plays around us, right?
And that strategy seems to be working.
It seems to be working,
right?
Yeah. Thankfully,
with Nav's contribution up the top,
absolutely.
You are coming in, you're doing your thing, and then everyone around.
Everyone, that's exactly it. We added Manav this year from Glenmore. He used to be the captain there, and I'm trying to give what I do to him, right? So I could play a little bit freely like I played last game, and I'd like playing that way without pressure, right? Now I know like I said, I think this is the best squad we've had in a long time, especially when it comes to batting. We have Vic, who joined us. Vic's a great batsman. And then we have Harpreet. He's a good batsman. He used to play for Kings 1. He's playing for us now. So that gives us the depth. We have our batsmen that used to go 2 down, 3 down are sitting at, number 8 this year, just waiting for their turn, right? So it's a healthy competition that everybody has. And it gives everybody the freedom. This year, everybody has a license to go. Do your own thing. Get runs however you can.
Also, if the balance is there, you can afford to do that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it seems like the balance is there right now.
Yeah.
With a couple of good additions.
Absolutely.
You guys are on the right track. I did want to ask you, you kind of touched on this. What does aggression mean to you?
If you asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have given you a stupid answer. You asked me this question today, I still don't know what to tell you. Aggression to me, I used to think, jokes apart, I used to think getting under somebody else's skin was aggressive to me. If you're batting and I could somehow get under your skin, that was aggression to me.
You've tried. It probably didn't work, but yeah, you've tried.
That's exactly it. It works in Div 3. It works in Div 4. I've looked stupid doing it in Premier and Elite because players are so much more calmer. It's hard to get, like Parth, for example. I don't know if you remember him with St. John's. I've tried to get under his skin 3 times. Prabh tried getting under his skin, being aggressive. He scored 100 both those times, right? And it just makes you take a step back and you kind of have to slow it down a little bit, right? Now I think being aggressive is just making sure that you do what you could do the best and your batsmen what they could do the best, right? Or your bowlers, for example, bowl the lengths. So for me, being aggressive, let's just per se, if a team hasn't hit a boundary in the last 2 overs, I'd get all my players in, let them hit, let them go for it. They're not confident enough to hit it over 30 yard. Why don't we get all our players in, keep maybe 1 or 2 out for edges and make them hit their shots.
Yeah.
There's a chance that they're going to hit you for a 6, but there's also a chance that they're going to mistime it, right? Especially being a batsman, thinking like a batsman. If all the fielders in it, I'm going to go for it.
Of course.
And it might be 50-50 or it might be 80-20 one day, right? If it's 80-20, then, I'm taking my fielders out. If it's 50-50, then hey man, you never know what's going to happen. And that's me being aggressive, right? And another thing is, if I hit a 6, I'm looking for another boundary in that over. I am not the one to rotate strike after I've hit a boundary. Because to me, that's not being aggressive enough. Like Navi is. He hits, he's looking for another one to hit, right? Especially when a bowler gets hit for a 6, especially a 6, bowler's lost. He doesn't know what to do. He's going to try to bowl his best one. And at that point, you're above him, right? So you could really capitalize on that,
exactly.
Right? And if you have 2 good overs in a T20 game, you've got yourself a game. Right?
I believe that.
Right? If you have even if you're setting a target in 2 overs, if you have 40 runs, all you need to get is 160 and 18 overs, and that's easy, right? Same thing with 40 overs. And that's how game changes. Against CCA, same thing changed. We had 27 runs or 23 runs in an over. Game changed. Against Preds last weekend, same thing. We had 27 runs in an over, and then everybody kind of just went with the flow after, right? Yeah. And to me, that is being aggressive, right? But Prabh will tell you how it is being cool. So you'd have to ask him that question.
I won't ask him that. Okay, so about 9 years ago, I asked this question to Vigandar.
Yeah.
I asked him, is Kings only open to Sikh community, or is it open to other?
Not at all. Before you even finish that question, not at all. I've had Arbaz play for me. Arbaz, I think, played a couple of years. I had Kamer played for me when Kings 3 started. It's not open to just Sikh community. I had Ashish Jeddah played. He plays for Preds now. He played for me for about 4 or 5 years, right? I don't think religion is even a question with Kings, to be honest with you. We're heavily Sikh club.
Yeah.
And that is just the way it is. Just friends, right? Like I said, when I started playing, I knew Lovepreet. So Lovepreet's like, hey man, you want to play for Kings, right? But now you look at Kings 1, I think Ballbeater's playing with Kings 1. You have Sitar Bhai also playing with Kings 1.
James Sankey played.
James Sankey's been playing, right? So I don't think it has anything to do with religion. I don't know what it was.
Some people have asked this in the past, so I thought I'd bring it up.
No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think so at all, man. I try to reach out for players. So when I'm looking out for players, when I need players, I look out for players that I need for the team. I don't care where they come from, to be honest, right? And it has never even crossed my mind until you asked that question, right? Yeah. But yes, we are a heavy Sikh Punjabi club, but I'd love to see if Abdullah came played for me, right? It's whatever you need at that time, right? So I think that question is just out the window.
Yeah, because again, that's the perception that can just come sometimes.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
When you see, I'm not saying some of the other clubs are not doing that. There are some teams who are, without naming one single club, there is one club that I know of that, in order for you to play for them, you have to be part of their religious group.
Okay.
So there's one there.
I'm not aware of that.
Reasons,
absolutely.
For those reasons, some people have inquired whether it is only open to one particular.
No, absolutely not.
Group.
No, like I think Kings 1 have done a wonderful job answering your question. Not CDCL Kings 1, but WCL Kings. They had what's his name? I forget. Salman, right? He played for Kings for a while there. Like you said, James Sankey. In the Bash.
Abbas brother has played.
Yes, Kuram, yes. KB? Yeah, KB's played for a while. And then you had, during the Bashes, you see Mohammed Saeed play for Kings last year, right? So I think that's just a myth. And if there are players out there that are looking for a club and, they're looking for a team and they have something to offer, we're 100% open to accept them.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. we have this mystery solved.
Yeah.
Okay. Growing up, you must have watched Gilchrist.
Absolutely.
And Sangakkara.
Absolutely.
What do you think of their contributions to the game, and how do you translate their game to yours?
Oh, no, I'm nowhere close.
Sure.
I'm very much they're class, right? Those guys are class. I like a Gilly a little bit more than Sangakkara, personal opinion. Just because he throws with his right, bats with his left. The only reason, right?
Right.
And then the unorthodox, I think Gilchrist brought compared to Sangakkara. Sangakkara is very, very, very classy.
Very classy.
So I can't even mimic the shots he plays, right? Gilchrist, on the other hand, he's very to the leg, right? And I think a little more unorthodox, aggressive. Let's just put it that way. Unorthodox, right? And I think my cricket is very unorthodox as well. So I give Gilchrist a little bit of an edge over Sangakkara.
What about on the keeping side?
Oh, dude, keeping side, I have to go MS.
Really?
Yes. He's, in my opinion, I think MS is a great keeper. He's the best.
Quick.
Yeah, even now he's 40 something and he's still quick behind the stumps, right? Yeah. Keeping is not easy. It's a very, very thankless job. People that do it know, right? You drop one catch, you hear about it for 10 years, right? I've dropped many. with age, I've gotten sloppier, obviously. It's hard, man. Keeping is hard. But Sangakkara kept against Muralidharan, and they're some of the legends, some of the best spinners in the world. Gilchrist kept against Warren. It's not easy, man. You can't match it. We're not even 1% of what they are, right?
Why did you choose keeping?
I was greedy. I wanted all balls to come to me. I'm joking. Jokes apart, I think just it kept me in the game. Aggressive side. I've calmed down a lot, but before it's easier to analyze the game when you're standing behind the stumps, right? It's just easier. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it comes genetically. My dad also played. He played wicketkeeper as well. So I think it just comes genetically to me. But I enjoy keeping. I really enjoy keeping. Last couple of years I've been really, really sloppy. I've back issues and whatnot. They're just excuses, right? At the end of the day, not enough practice is a real reason. I have gone sloppier, but I really enjoy keeping on the days. I've never bowled in my life. I have never bowled in my life, so I don't even know what that feels like. But if I was to contribute to the team, if somebody could do it better, feel free. They have the stage. They could do it. But I feel like I'm pretty quick behind the stumps, especially with the thinking. It helps me think a lot. It's from a batting perspective, you see all 360 view that the batsman sees, right? And I feel like it helps with my batting a lot as well when I'm keeping. You analyze the pitch conditions a lot better. You analyze the ground a lot better. And then I feel like you analyze how the ball's swinging, how much is swinging, how much is it skidding, right? I just enjoy keeping altogether. There was a time where I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoy it now. Like I said, I've gotten older. I'm not as quick as I used to be. I've kind of gained a little bit of weight, obviously, but
don't we all have that problem right
now? But pre-COVID to post-COVID, I enjoyed keeping a lot more. I'd still do it. As long as I play, I'd probably play as a wicketkeeper batsman.
Yeah.
Like I said, if we have somebody young and somebody else wants to try it and they do a better job than I do, for all means, I'm able to give them my spot and I'm okay to field. But I haven't fielded. I don't know what that feels like either, right? There have been games maybe.
Yeah, I've never seen you in the outfield.
Yeah, I've maybe fielded about 10 overs my entire life, man. As a substitute here and there, I've fielded. I don't know what that is like. I've always kept. But when it comes to Q, I think he's quick, he's sharp. I don't want to say it on the camera, but I don't really like MS's style or what he does.
Right.
I just don't agree with what he does, but his keeping, I have to give him. He's got to be one of the best keepers there are.
That's fair. Yeah. So would you, as a captain, batting first or bowling first?
I was always a big fan of batting first. Always batting first because we had a really, really strong bowling side before. We had Gurpreet Gill, SB, Jasprit, and Navpreet. Those were my 4 core bowlers. And then Prabh, obviously. Nobody likes hitting Prabh. I don't know. They're just scared of him, right? Which is a good thing. I had my 5 core bowlers, and I've always considered Kings to be a bowling side. So my theory was get as many runs on the board, and we'll contain them. And we had succeeded in the past with that theory. But you get so reliant on that, and that we've seen in the past is then you start losing games when you're not batting first, right? Yeah. And then there've been a couple of years where we bowled the entire year. We bowled first. The final we lost against CCA. We bowled that entire year. We bowled second, or we bowled first. Sorry, we chased every single game until the final. We lost the toss, and I saw the faces of the players. And you could just tell we'd lost the game before we even stepped into the ground, right? Just because we were batting first. Got a wicket and then Mohammed got a wicket on the first ball. And then I think we got all out at 60 something because we were not used to bowling first, right? I like batting first because it's a little bit free on your mind. But recently, this year especially, we've been chasing everything. And I feel like just the grounds this year, everybody's been chasing. You look at the scorecard, especially inland large, nobody defends there. You score 260, it's
220, 260, anything. 280. It doesn't matter what it is, but the chasing team is
very, 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 I don't know, teams have gone good. I think the T20 in general in the last few years has evolutionized the game a lot, right? You see players playing shots that we've never seen before, right? Yes, a lot of them, right? And I think the no giving up mentality, it's a big thing now, right? Before you put in 50 overs too, you put 250 on the board, the game was yours, right? With 40 overs, even now, like you put 260 on the board, it's not safe. You chase it down. Right? Now I feel a little bit more comfortable as a captain chasing him down just because of the batting lineup I have. Like I said, I have batting up to number 8, number 9. I had their batsmen. So I feel like it's easier. You put up a target, I could chase it down. We haven't batted first this year. We did against Knight Rider. We all had an off day. But I'd like to bat first as well. I just want to know what we could do batting first, right? Personally, myself and Prabh, I could speak for him as well. We analyze the game a lot better when we know what we're chasing down. If we need 7 and over, we could do 7 and over, right? No problem. Same with Manav. He's new to the team. I have one game we batted together. We both scored 50s against Knight Riders. It's great. You analyze it so quick, right? It's 6 runs and over. You need 7 runs and over. You know you're there. You don't have to play risky shots. You just rotate the strike and you keep going back and forth. So it's been easier to chase it down recently than it is to put up a target because you don't know what's a safe target. I feel like putting a 300 now at Inland today is, I think you chase it down. Like Knight Rider lost that last game last week, and they took it all the way to the end. Last ball, they needed 3 runs, right? Yeah. So it's, even with 2 wickets in hand at the end, games are going so deep. Nobody's given up. It's the give up mentality is gone.
With the supposedly weaker United team.
Yes, it's United.
Then,
yes,
and then they ended up scoring 260.
Absolutely, and so, it's hard to say.
Nothing safe.
Nothing safe. Yeah, bat first or bowl first. It's unless the conditions are relatively favorable for one side. Like if it's rained, I like to bowl first. I like to know what I'm doing. Right, get my bowlers in, get a few quick wickets, and go. Try to chase down whatever they make. Other than that, I prefer losing the toss, right? Just put me to do whatever you want to do, right? There's a lot of times where I don't want to win the toss.
Sometimes losing a toss is the best thing that can happen to you.
Yeah.
And it's like you just don't have that headache.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, in the rain too, I've decided to bowl first one of these games. And I think it was a 30 over game because it rained. So instead of 40, it was 30. And they scored 260, I think.
30.
And 30 overs, And then it's questioned, why bowl first? Why not bat first? When we chase it down, because you know what you're chasing, right? Like I said, I find it easier to analyze the game a little bit more, right? Before, if our main batsman lost their wickets, it was hard to take it deep, right? Now we have a very strong middle order with the top order. I feel like it's been a little bit easier to chase down because we all kind of look at the number. Or we need 6 point this, so a 4 and 2 singles or 6 singles will get you there, right? And being a lefty batting with a righty, you get so many extras, right? And it's a blessing to have 3 lefties in the team, to be very honest with you. I don't think a lot of teams in the league
don't have
lefties, so it's a blessing to have top order lefties where you rotate the strike, you get so many extras. A lot of the teams practice against righty bowlers, right? Yes. So when they see a lefty, you get 3 runs to start off with.
You've seen their faces, right?
Yes.
Especially when righty-lefty partnerships go.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's one thing we did.
And you probably feel that as a fielder too when that happens.
Absolutely. I absolutely hate it, right? Absolutely hate it. You're moving players around, especially when it's a hot day like we had last week.
Players, where are they going, right?
Man, I'm moving from here to here. I hate doing that too, right? So I could imagine when somebody's doing cover to, mid-on or mid-off, it's annoying, right? So, and it's a blessing to have in your team, but it sucks to play against.
Tayyab was on the show just recently, and he said, he's like, we were making Chhatri, Wakas, go from long on to long on. So just imagine that. He's basically doing righty-lefty the whole game.
Absolutely.
Technically, right?
Yeah. So, and that's what we try to stick with as well. This lefty-righty combination. But you do get into an instant where both lefties are batting, right? But
and that's not a bad thing either.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just it's a lot easier on the batting side when there's 2 different handed batsmen.
Of course.
You get a lot of extras.
Yep, and it happens for both, not just for lefty. It also happens for righty.
Yeah.
Righty ends up getting some loose balls too.
Absolutely.
Steve Smith or Williamson?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith or Joe Root?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith or Bumrah?
Bumrah.
Bumrah or Cumming?
Bumrah.
Bumrah or Trent Bolt?
Bumrah.
Bumrah or Jadeja?
Bumrah.
Bumrah or de Kock?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Bumrah.
Bumrah or Kohli?
Oh, that's another tough one. Oh, jeez, I have to go Kohli. I have to go Kohli.
I told you, I did this on purpose.
Yeah, I have to go Kohli.
Kohli or Azam?
Kohli.
Kohli or Sharma?
Kohli.
Kohli or Butler?
Kohli.
Kohli or Stokes?
Test? Stokes? Oh, no, Kohli. I'd go Kohli.
Kohli?
Kohli Test is... Kohli's
Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli it is.
Kohli. If you had Yuvraj Singh in there, it would have been different.
Okay, we'll change it up. Kohli or Yuvraj Singh?
Yuvraj Singh.